Top 10 Most Elaborate Scare Pranks by Ellen. There's hardly anyone who's not a fan of the Ellen DeGeneres show, but that's not just for the list of famous people who have appeared on it, or for Ellen's hilarious jokes and witty comebacks. Ellen has a reputation of pulling pranks on her guests and crew in the most unexpected of ways. And in this video, we'll be counting down to the top 10 times that Ellen has pulled some of the most elaborate scare pranks ever. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Let's get it going. 10. Taylor Swift. Teen icon and pop singer Taylor Swift was invited to the Halloween special of The Ellen Show, and needless to say, she got her fair share of chills. When Taylor came to the set, Ellen had her sent to a fake dressing room where she was already hiding. Taylor was asked to go into the bathroom and check out a picture of her and Ellen, which was actually there as bait. The bathroom was bugged with hidden cameras to record the entire affair. As Taylor came to the bathroom, her initial reaction on seeing the picture was pure awe, but it changed within seconds as Ellen screamed, scaring Taylor beyond her wits. Taylor was horrified to say the least and backed up against the wall when Ellen scared her. She was so scared that she fell on the bathroom floor and Ellen laughed it off. Swift's escort to the fake room was also seen in the video. Once Ellen had regained her composure, she could be heard saying that was the best one ever. Ellen has a strange way of catching up to people. She often starts her pranks by blankly asking them what scares them the most, and then she brings out the prank which involves that same thing. 9. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid gained a lot of popularity thanks to his dramatic and comedic roles over the years. First gaining attention in the 1980s, Dennis had been a repeat guest on Ellen's show, and quite surprisingly, he has been one of those celebrities who got pranked by Ellen a lot. From wearing earpieces to hidden cameras to actually terrifying Dennis during the show, Ellen has tried everything on him. In this particular instance, while interviewing Dennis, Ellen got him to speak about his fear of rats and had one of her crew members costume up as one. While Dennis was talking to Ellen, he anticipated that she might have him set up and decided to take a look behind him. But Ellen kept him distracted, giving the rat the perfect window to sneak up on him. When the rat shouted boo, Dennis jumped up in surprise, even squealing a bit. Ellen mocked Dennis in a fun manner by telling him that his reaction was the best while the two laughed it off. Dennis even tried to cover up his sudden outburst, saying that he had meant to react in that manner, trying to hide his embarrassment. Not just guests, Ellen gets a kick out of scaring her crew too. 8. Andy Lassner. Andy, the executive producer of the show, is among some of the people who Ellen pranks quite often. She loves pulling sudden pranks on Andy and often with the same props. Andy has been scared numerous times on The Ellen Show, whether it's been with rubber snakes or the Annabelle. On Halloween, Ellen also sent Andy to a haunted house to get his reactions and ended up giving the audience quite a laugh. Take a look at some of the times Ellen managed to scare Andy with Annabelle, and she had her entire crew team up with her for those too. Starting with the time when she and her crew had assembled for a meeting and Ellen ran out of the room for a bit only to return with Annabelle. The video shows Ellen sneak up on Andy with Annabelle. The funniest instance was when Ellen scared Andy with Annabelle in a dimly lit room and the poor guy was so shocked that he dropped his phone right out of his hands. You know Ellen's going to showcase her naughty streak when she flashes that smile. She seemed particularly excited to show the audience how she pranked her writer Alison. 7. Alison The Writer. The idea to scare her writer Alison came to Ellen after she saw a video of 2 pythons falling out of the ceiling vents into someone's house in Australia. She thought about it and talked it out with the executive producer Kevin, who agreed to do the prank but with rubber snakes. While Ellen seemed disappointed with the use of fake snakes at first, for the sake of safety she agreed to them. She also had a blueprint of the meeting room in which she planned to carry out the prank and showed it on the episode to get the audience synced up with her idea. The next morning, cameras were set up, a button to open the vent was placed, and Alison was seated right under the vent, from which the snakes would drop down shortly. As the team started talking and interacting, Ellen found her window of surprise and pressed the button, releasing the snakes. Since no one except the 2 people knew about the prank, everyone was terrified. And Alison was even seen running right out of the room when the snakes fell. It all ended with Ellen saying out loud, "Oh, I love my job." If you thought Harry Potter was the only one who could pull off tricks, wait till you see what Ellen did to him. 6. Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe gained a huge fan following owing to his amazing work in the Harry Potter series. When he came onto the Ellen show, Ellen had already cooked up a prank to scare him. She told Daniel that the dressing rooms on the set were flooded and that he'd have to put up in the trailer set up out in the parking lot. Next, Ellen went inside Radcliffe's trailer to pretend to talk to him to keep him busy, while 16 people gathered in place outside to shake the truck from all sides. The trailer then started shaking, and Ellen played along with it, pretending it to be an earthquake. At which point, Daniel got up calmly and asked if they should leave. He then went to the door and realized that he was being set up and that Ellen was trying to prank him. Ellen had tried to scare Daniel, but his reaction was extremely calm. He seemed disappointed after the prank because he said that he was excited about it. Later, when Ellen said that he wasn't scared at all, Daniel agreed, saying his reaction was the worst anyone could give at the time of an earthquake. If you thought all Ellen had up her sleeve was one prank per guest, well, think again. 5. Jimmy Fallon. The popular late-night talk show host Jimmy Fallon also appeared on The Ellen Show and was pranked the same way Taylor Swift was. Jimmy was taken to a fake dressing room where he was told Ellen had put up a really old photo of them in the bathroom. Fallon was extremely sure that Ellen was up to something and was almost prepared to be pranked with the way he slowly opened the door. As he entered the room, Ellen jumped up to scare him, to which he reacted by laughing and then later going straight down on the floor. Later, they hugged and laughed the whole thing off, but that wasn't all. Once Jimmy sat for the interview, Ellen mentioned that he could have done the scare prank himself if she wasn't going to be there to scare him, and it would have gone much better. While they were still talking, a crew member of the show dressed up as a bird gently crept up behind Jimmy. While Ellen kept Jimmy busy, the bird snuck up on him and scared him, in response to which he could do nothing but walk up to the audience and admit that he was embarrassed. This scare sure had Jimmy startled, since he wasn't expecting another similar tactic on the same show. Continuing the multiple pranks on the same show series, watch how Ellen got this next guest. 4. Selena Gomez. The ultra-popular Selena Gomez came to The Ellen Show after the release of her second album, Revival. When Ellen kept Selena distracted by asking her why she wasn't in Taylor's squad, a crew member dressed as Taylor sat hiding in the furniture right next to where Selena was sitting. On cue, the crew member suddenly stood up, scaring Selena. But later, Ellen remarked that he was too loud and had even scared her for once. But that wasn't the end to what Ellen had packed for Selena. The next scare for her came when they were talking about Halloween. Selena was telling Ellen about what she was going to dress up as for Halloween, and she was so distracted that as soon as Ellen saw the opportunity, she gave the cue to another crew member who had dressed up as Elsa from Frozen. Incidentally, this was what Selena was going to dress up as on Halloween. Fake Elsa snuck up on Selena and shouted out loud, scaring her, and then running off backstage. From multiple pranks to getting the same guest multiple times, Ellen has done it all. 3. Eric Stonestreet. Eric is best known for his hilarious role of Cameron Tucker in the sitcom Modern Family. He has also been to the show quite a few times in the past and has also been pranked by Ellen every time. From bringing crew members dressed as clowns and dogs to actually sending Eric to Ellen's haunted hallway, Stonestreet has been pranked by Ellen quite often. So this time, Eric had brought his backup, with his two best friends, Paul and Stacy. They both were right there to make sure Ellen did not prank Eric. Right from when they arrived, they pretended to take a good look around to make sure everything was alright, but little did they know about Ellen's plan. So while they went backstage to look out for surprises, Ellen began with the interview, and when she had Stonestreet distracted, a crew member dressed as a clown stood up from the furniture right next to Eric, giving a loud shout and startling him. As he ran off backstage, Eric was so startled that he said that Ellen had lost one of her favorite guests and that he would never come back. But they laughed it off when they saw that Eric's best buddies were standing with the clown, laughing. Nope, there's nothing innocent about anything on The Ellen Show. You can't even trust a cake. 2. David Spade. This actor and stand-up comedian rose to fame after his role as a cast member on Saturday Night Live. David had been on The Ellen Show 11 times, more than any other male guest, and to celebrate that, Ellen had something special planned for him. Ellen had a huge cake brought out on a covered table so that Spade could not see what was underneath. Spade relaxed, thinking that it was some normal cake, and even called out for some candles, but right then, he got his share of the scare. A crew member on getting his cue popped right out of the table, giving a loud shout scaring both Spade and Ellen. Spade reacted by pushing himself away from the table and then later punching the table, pegging it with a fork, and throwing some of the cake at the man in the table before eating some of it. Ellen also admitted that she was scared a bit even though she knew of the trick. And finally, we're down to our #1 pick of the list. I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works. 1. Ellen's staff. Did you know that Ellen owned a robot? Yeah. Ellen has a robot designed after her, which was part of Ellen's Energy Adventure, a Disney World ride. When the ride closed down, she got the robot as a gift for her birthday, but she was now using it as a tool to prank her crew. She had her writer's assistant dress up as the robot to play her prank. The robot was placed in the same look-alike box the original robot came in and put up backstage. As any staff member would walk by, the fake robot would move out of the box, yelling at them and stretching out his hands. Ellen had the production coordinator, the associate producer, and everyone backstage scared as the robot lunged out. This was by far the most elaborate Ellen prank ever. So which Ellen prank was your favorite? Do let us know in the comments below. Also subscribe to Viral Now for more videos. Thanks for watching and have an excellent day.